Shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
I got one of these while you're talking on the phone. One of these bullshit. If your boyfriend doesn't see this in 10 minutes, they owe you $70 dinner date and a back rub. I'm like, that doesn't fucking count if I'm live and recording music or live recording podcasts.
Right?
That's not fair.
Yeah.
You know where I'm at.
Yeah, bullshit. You did this on purpose.
That's a setup for failure.
That was.
We were just talking about it, the year before. You said this year's got to be Tiger King.
Yep, so
Last
far.
year's got to be Mandalorian, Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, for
I think
sure.
the year before that was probably Letterkenny.
Oh, there was a lot of
That's
that.
the whole allegedly. Like, that took off.
Oh,
then,
yes. There was a bunch of those.
And well, obviously they took off because that's a pretty famous show now on Hulu from just a bunch of weird Canadian Squirrely Dan. He's doing tours now. Well, not now, obviously, but
Well, yeah, he was on Just for Laughs and stuff like that before. And he did a bunch of stuff, but he wasn't mainstream. Now, he's as popular as probably any road comedian.
We're going back to 2016. We're probably talking Rick and Morty. I think that was the year it really popped off. It came out. God, before that, I can't even remember what it was. But
Well, what's going to be next?
it's all, I don't know. I mean, I think something zombie related has got to make a comeback. It's been a while since we had something good zombie related, right?
Yeah. Because there's coronavirus stuff right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Outbreak, maybe
Like
maybe a
how
little
we
more.
how we relate to this time.
Maybe not zombies. Maybe a little more post-apocalyptic style. You know what I mean?
Fucking outbreak monkey.
Something like 12 Monkeys was awesome, man.
I love
They actually
12
made a
Monkeys.
12 Monkeys TV show, didn't they? They were
Yeah.
starting it.
I heard about it. I never watched
see,
it.
me either. But now, like, I don't want to watch it. It's too fucking real.
Well, I'm so far removed. I'm like a Ducks fan who gets mad if we don't get the seed for the national championship, even if we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Because I'm so tainted anymore. That's how I am with movies. It better be good enough for me to watch it. Because there's so many movies out there. I have so many choices on what to watch. Half the time, I sit there for 10, 15 minutes while my food gets cold trying to pick something to watch. That's pretty bad. I'm way too fucking privileged if that's the case. You know
White
what I mean?
people problems.
Man,
well,
is it
it's
ever.
first world problems, I guess.
Yeah, because it's not just... Because there's all sorts of people. You don't know who. The natives, Hispanic.
Everybody loves TV.
That's
They
it.
really are. Just
And
the way it is. Everybody got
motherfuckers
Netflix.
sitting around...
Oh yeah, you're laying in bed, you're tired, you got to go to work, and you're only getting 5 hours sleep anyway. Somehow you end up searching for a fucking movie for 30 minutes,
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Now you're ready for bed.
Yeah.
I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, but all you've done is catalog every fucking shitty movie you don't want to see.
But I do think something post-apocalyptic will probably be the next big thing, the next big show. You know what I mean? Or it could be a comedy too.
I think it's going to be sports related because of the lack of sports that we had.
they're just waiting for like another Friday Night Lights to come out and be.
There's going to be something.
There's All American show. Have you watched that yet? All American on Netflix.
No.
That's a football related show. It's pretty good. 2 seasons out so far. T-Bart was watching it one day. Justin's boy put him onto it whenever he stopped by his house.
Okay.
And then I show up there and I'm all like, what the fuck's the show we're watching? He's all like, I don't know. Justin's boy put me onto it. I was going to see if he's good. He's like, it kind of sucks so far. We're 2 episodes in. I hop in there and he's like, kind of not that good. I don't like it. By the 3rd episode, he's like, all right, it's getting pretty good. I'm like, all right. So 2 seasons later, I'm still like, so when's the 3rd, But,
Well, and that's the thing. You got your character development, and that's kind of boring sometimes. But once you get into the meat and potatoes of it, all of a sudden you get sucked in. Not everything's like Ozark. I started
I
that
haven't
one.
started that one yet either.
Dude.
Yeah.
You got to...
I love that guy, too.
Carve out some time if you start watching it, because you'll need to see a few episodes.
I don't know. Like I said, everybody talks so much about Game of Thrones, and I just did not get behind Game of Thrones
It was
at all.
fun to watch.
I mean, it was... There was 100. Like I said, I told you, I argue with Matt 10 shows that are better, and I put fucking Rugrats in there. You know what I mean? Like,
shit.
I'd rather watch Rugrats than Game of Thrones.
Jesus.
Rugrats
fuck.
was awesome. Did you ever watch? What was it? Rocket Power? Dope show.
Never seen Rocket Power.
Yeah, probably did a different generation for cartoons.
Completely different generation.
You watch Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego?
Nope.
Damn, just fucking Bugs
Look,
Bunny.
I remember Carmen Sandiego, but that wasn't a cartoon I watched. Yeah, we did Bugs Bunny. So I came in at the tail end of Scooby-Doo and He-Man. And the beginning of G.I. Joe.
Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Oh!
Talk shit.
They're supposed to be remaking a Thundercats movie too.
I'm cool with that.
Well, so it's funny. We're talking about what's going to be next and stuff. Talking about movies. There's so many movies that Marvel and Disney and Sony all have planned. They're all comic book movies,
Fine
and
with
superhero
me.
movies. Well, they said they're trying not to do it. The way it looks right now.
Because they don't want to keep making the same movies over and over.
Well, I mean, they do a damn good job at it.
But let's not forget, We want to see the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah, it keep making Rocky movies. I'll watch every fucking one of them.
But there's only so many ideas.
I gotta say, I'm over Fast and the Furious. I
like those two still.
Yeah, but they were cool the first 17 times.
Motherfucker, Jason, or was it Friday the 13th? They made, what, 900 of those?
Did you watch Hobbs and Shaw yet? The one that's based on Hobbs and Shaw from...
I don't remember.
Decent movie, not great or anything like that, but it's the only reason why it's good. It's like putting together Kevin Hart and The Rock. That's the only reason why, because Kevin Hart's got his parts in there and it's great, but Jason Statham and him just go at it the whole time.
I did see that one.
Yeah.
They saved people by jumping cars to save them.
We get it. Good job.
Well, in movies I like, ninjas can kill 10 people with 3 punches, and dudes could shoot people with 6 bullets and kill 9 people. So, I like fantasy.
Who are we to judge?
No, it's all fantasy to me.
But they did say there's enough superhero movies planning to come out from 2021, 2022 that they could do one release a month, and every month you get a new superhero movie.
That's pretty cool.
So Marvel's trying to push it back so it's every other month because they're trying to change their whole shit. You know what I mean? But once Disney bought out Marvel and everything else took off, they got all these things planned, and they're like, we got too much content. You know what I mean? We're just going to be dropping movies all the time. A smart businessman can't drop the movies like that. You can't make the money,
Huh. Too much content.
Yeah, they have too much content. They have too many TV shows, movies, and then, so like I said, Sony's got the Spider-Verse involved now, too.
They're diluting
Morbius.
Their own whatever.
So they're staggering them out a little more, you know what I mean? Which is cool. But...
So, like I was saying before about restaurants, maybe they're looking at more what's most appealing to people as opposed to what's more appealing to the money.
Mm-hmm. Which is what you have to do, right?
I think so. I think now that's what we're learning.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something like that.
And it looks like if
I don't want my waitress coming up, setting down my plate wearing gloves.
No,
you know what I mean? At all. But again, extra few feet, I'm fine with that.
Right. And I don't think it's that bad that maybe we do look out for people just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because life is pretty precious. We take it for granted on a regular basis, but if maybe this does a few less flus out there and a few less old folks passing away from it or whatever, even that could be good. Mm-hmm. But I think, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. I think if you're supposed to die, you're supposed to die.
If somebody's not making money, somebody's making more money.
That's how it is.
Again, housing market could go up, rent could go down, because we're going to have a lot more vacant places if the pandemic continues.
Yeah.
What are 67,000 people now or something like that?
Yeah, not enough.
That's not nearly a pandemic in my eyes,
No, they said it was supposed to hit 100,000 or something, and maybe because of our social distancing, maybe because, I bet you it has something to do with it. Mm-hmm. For us out here in the country, folk, we don't, it's not that big a deal, but in these big cities, it's
way different for them. You're right.
Yeah, probably paid in dividends. You never know what it's going to do, but it sounds like these guys started doing it early enough to where it did bridge the curb, keep it from spiking.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's all a social experiment. Who knows?
I don't care.
But I don't know. All I know is 60,000, 70,000 people. I don't think you can call that a pandemic.
No, and really. I guess I kind of don't mind the direction things have been going. It has been beneficial to me. And so I hate to sound like an asshole. I'm like, screw the rest of the country. That's not what I'm saying.
Well,
but here's my 2 cents about it's been outstanding for my family.
It's like fires, right?
Yeah.
Forest fires over the summer, stuff like that. They suck. Everybody hates them.
Someone makes money.
Somebody makes tons of money.
There's someone out there going, woo, forest fires.
Oh, yeah. Last year we had a great fire season. We had a great fire season. They hated it. Yeah. Those people are like, I go get a different job. That's how I depend my whole life is I work this summer and I make they make $30,000 a summer, $40,000 a summer.
Sometimes,
doing that stuff, big fire seasons.
Yeah.
Travel all over, do everything like that, and it's hard work. It sucks, but
those dudes, some of them even went to Australia.
Yeah, but they can coast off of that for a while. You know what I mean?
No problem with that.
Yeah, they can make that $40,000. That's their money for the year. Now they couldn't, so that sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like when I worked at Master Brand, I didn't mind whatever houses were burning down. California fires are happening. All I thought was, guess what? People are going to buy new kitchen cabinets.
That's right.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I live in Oregon. I'm not burnt, and sales will go up.
If a lot of people die, and like I said, our housing market gets better, our rent gets a little bit lower, and we're still selling, and funeral homes are making more money.
So did you see? I was afraid of this, but I found out that this next stimulus, one of the proposals is no rent, no mortgage. Have you heard this one? So basically, you would not have to pay mortgage or rent for the next year. The government pays you for it. But if you sign on to do it, you have to take the government program. You can't charge people like, hey, motherfucker, I want rent still.
Yeah.
Like, you have to not take any money. And they're talking about this as part of the economic stimulus. Because everybody rents or everybody owns. The only people that aren't affected by it are people that actually own their property outright, and live there, and don't pay anybody.
Do they just not have to pay taxes that year or something?
No.
They still have to pay taxes?
No, there's several proposals. That's one of them.
I think cash is just the best way to go.
One of the proposals is sending everybody $2,000 on a debit card and reloading it with $1,000 a month for the next year.
Just a balance.
Mm-hmm. First shot's $2,000. Next one, $1,000.
See, this can't be all because of
every month.
Corona. It can't be. This has got to be the universal income experiment. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Whatever.
I'm fine with it. I don't care.
I'm not in charge.
I also just like to see what happens sometimes. I'm that guy.
I don't want to see the ship sink, but it sounds like that if they can make this work.
Well, if the ship starts to sink, at least we know. Fuck, that didn't work. Pull out.
True.
Pull
That's
out.
a good point.
And it's better to know than not. You know what I mean? That's what I'd rather.
Well, and
do, but
Trump asking about if Lysol can be put inside the body. Okay, it was kind of funny. I mean, if you watch the video, he kind of smirks a little bit like, this sounds dumb, but whatever. But he asked the question, and then come to find out, there was a whole bunch of studies about how they've been trying to use disinfectants inside the body. And Ron called me today. When I was telling you, I was talking to Ron. He even brings up the fact that the UV lights, what do they do with the kid with jaundice?
UV lights.
They stick them in a little thing with UV lights. He says, they've been trying the UV lights, and I guess they've had success.
You know where UV lights came from? The whole jaundice thing, how the sunlight cures them?
Hmm.
It was literally just a nurse that the kid was dying because of jaundice. Brought him outside so he can see the sun for the first time, started feeling better. Cool
Makes
story.
sense.
Cool
Makes
story.
sense.
I mean, it's a great idea.
But can you imagine if you had the full-blown AIDS and they put you in a little thing and put UV lights on you? And I use full-blown AIDS because it's a funny term. But if you had the corona,
Yeah.
if they put you in a little box of UV lights for an hour and you come out and all of a sudden you're in remission.
I love press conferences with fucking Trump.
They're hilarious.
I don't care what anybody says. This shit's great. We were talking about that the other day.
His approval is up because he's been doing press. So here's what they want to do. They wanted to stop the rallies because they hate him.
Yeah.
So now what does he do? A press conference every day. And they are livid.
Yeah, like, fuck, you beat the system here.
Hate the guy. Hate. The funny part is people, his approval rating keeps going up more and more because of his press conferences. That's what happens when you try to stop something I think that was supposed to be.
Don't be negative.
Well, I mean,
All I do is helping.
let's say that karma came through and that's where he came from. And you're trying to stop karma. Well, what's karma going to do?
Win.
No. in a beautiful fashion.
Beautiful fashion.
While rubbing
Poetic
your face
almost,
in it.
right? Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. Like, hey, guess what? This was the will of the universe before you were around. So the harder you try, the worse it's going to be for you.
I mean,
Things have to balance, dude. I think that's what happened.
I just like I
Easy
said,
balance.
I miss the fuck was his name? Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
The Joe Biden memes, you know what I mean? Like I miss those when Obama was presidency. Those are some of my favorites because that motherfucker was weird.
He's just creepy as fuck.
Yeah, right. Like I miss that. I'll miss the Trump memes when they're gone too. Like
I don't know if they'll ever be gone. There's so many of them. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but that dude.
America's the first country to go black and go back. You know? Orange is the new black. That was a good one. I love that. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you about earlier when I first came here about last night, right?
Oh, okay.
So, being a little hungover, last night my girlfriend and I are hanging out at the house, and I had my kids over. Turns out they wanted to go home. They were in a bad mood. They didn't seem to enjoy it that much. So I'm like, all right, well, I love you guys. It's all right. I'll take you home.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, fuck it. I might as well drink, I guess, you know? And my girlfriend has this new app called House Party. So House Party is video chats of you and all your friends getting together, doing social distancing.
Okay, it's partying
Video
together.
chatting, partying together.
Yeah,
drinking,
makes sense.
Having a good time. We're just not drinking, whatever. You
Sounds
know?
like a pretty smart app to me.
So they have games you could play, right? Like you have to do charades, so like this board pops up on the screen, everybody else doesn't see it. You have to act it out. They have to guess it, shit like that. It was fun. We had a good time. A lot of joking. Parts manager Mark.
Yes.
His wife's
Middleton?
on there. Yeah, his wife's friends with her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they were on there. I talked to Mark for a second and everything like that. It was cool, It's like, hey, mutual people. I know him. It's cool. Don't worry. I'm just a little more active because,
I know this dude.
You know us. Like, we're we're kind of show stealers, you know. It's what we do. I'm not going to sit nowhere and be bored, you know.
No.
So I'm out there, I'm talking, I'm having fun playing the games, and
Yeah, we don't do this stuff because we're the dudes that sit still and sit quiet and don't talk to everybody.
yeah, that's when you can't help it, you know. I'm the same way. I go to a restaurant and somebody's talking about something. I'm like, oh yeah, and the weird part is you don't get a lot of pushback from it. People are like, this guy gets it. Yeah. But I also don't butt my nose into. You know, somebody sitting over there like, oh, Trump's the greatest president in the world. I don't come in and be like, debatable. You know,
right.
Like,
You're not playing devil's advocate right off the bat.
No, right off the back, no. But if he starts a conversation at my table,
sure,
let's do this. But one of the things was your draw the picture you see on the screen. You know, and everybody else sees you as you're drawing. Draws fucking one of the worst Trump pictures I've ever seen in the world, and you know, you got a few seconds to figure it out and everything. I'm like, it's a person, we get it, a fucking person, you know what I mean? And like, all it is like the shape of the head. It's got like a little toupee, but it's all black, so there's no color. You have no idea. She literally switches to the orange, starts putting orange on the face. I'm like, Trump, why did you do that in the first place?
That's funny.
She's trying to like draw an American flag and shit. Like, no, you're wasting time. Just do the orange face. We all would have knew what would happen.
Yep.
But it is pretty cool though. So I mean, it's not as cool as hanging out with people in real life, but I mean,
still not bad.
If people are too nervous to hang out, which I don't agree with personally, you know,
it's a reason to drink.
It's a reason. Well, I've never needed a reason to drink.
I thought, didn't you have? If you give me one share,
so I literally shared that because my mom's when we shared that first.
Yeah.
So I shared it. I'm like, Mom, you got to get drunk, and she's like, the fuck if, and I'm all like, that's the rules. Facebook said it.
So how's it not, having your place? Are you pretty well set up in there? And
like I said, everything about living room, dining room, stuff like that. Bedrooms are all done. They got mounted the TVs the other day. Kids' rooms are all good. They got toys and everything now. So I have to buy more. You know, I want to just buy the little things here and there. You know, I got to buy the whole living room set and stuff. I got couches and stuff, but next month on our payday, I'll probably go buy the TV to mount, you know, and like I'm not a small TV kind of guy, so like I want a 70, 75 inch, you know what I mean? Like I want a big TV.
You got to see Caleb's. He $500.
Yeah, dude. Why not? I'd rather spend $800 on a TV that's like so big that for the next 7 years I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, well, the people are as big as you.
Yeah,
that's what's weird about it. But Jen's got curtains for you and rugs and stuff. So
yeah, I'll check them out.
Yeah, they're. Do you remember our living room? Right? It had different colored curtains and rugs, or a rug. So
she didn't like it.
No, she liked it. We had them for a long time.
Stimulus, man.
She just wanted a different color for a long time.
Stimulus, man.
And that was it. That's what it did. It allowed her to change colors.
Spend some money. That's what it comes out for. I don't want people getting the stimulus this whole time and saving it. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to help.
Well, I mean, if you want to buy a house, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's a different
absolutely.
Story.
You know, I think you want to put your gifts for your kids for college. Okay, great. People are going to spend it. It's just a matter of what are they going to spend it for. And maybe this gives one kid a chance to go to college that wasn't going to go.
It's a waste of time anyway, let's be honest here.
Maybe it is. But who are we to tell others how to dream? They get to make those mistakes on their own.
Hey, you know, and I do not mean to brag at all in any way, shape, or form, but you know, we obviously work with a lot of people in the public, and you know, whenever you're sitting there filling out an app for somebody, and they're all like, "I've been at my job. How long have you been at your job? 11 years. Oh, how much you make? $3,800 a month." I'm like, why?
Yeah.
11 years in? Why? That took a college degree? Why?
It's really hard to do our jobs and know what other people make.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's embarrassing. I don't like to tell people what I make.
Yeah, at all. I don't talk about it.
You know, because it's really
I just say I make good money. You know what I mean? I say I'm not hurting. You know,
I got a family. My wife still works.
Yeah. But I also say that, you know, there's rough months too, because there is. You know, that's not a lie.
Dude, February, I didn't make any money. Yeah. I made less money than the guy that works at In-N-Out Burger.
Which is saying something.
Now, since then, I've made more than that.
Yeah.
It's been good, but...
We balanced out, but it always is.
And, you know, some of it was probably mental, and some of it was the fact it was February. And February always murder me.
It's just...
That's
it's
a
a
rough
mental
month.
block. Just fuck that.
Well, because what ends up happening usually is you have a rough January, and then February comes around, and what you're trying to do is make it up, and you can't.
You're already exhausted from working so hard for January.
Yeah.
I know I haven't had that yet completely.
Well, your focus wasn't the same. My focus was, you know, try to do this, that. And really, I'd probably done better had I just not even thought about it and just
enjoyed
just
the
went
days.
to work. And,
As opposed to, I haven't sold anything in 7 days. What's going on?
Yeah. It was a little slow. I mean,
mental, I think, is a big deal about what we do.
I think some of it just, sometimes you have like certain days off that things just don't happen on the days you're at work. So what do? You just keep trying and do all your follow up, but
yeah, like I said, whatever, we see some of those people's money, and I'm like, why would you go to college for that?
Doesn't make any sense.
Why did you do that? Why did you go to college for that?
And you have a student loan.
Yeah, well, you're paying somebody back on money that you're not even making, man. What's wrong with you?
if you go to college for 4 years, you should be able to make $100,000 a year at least.
That should be a bare minimum.
Problem is, most people I know that have that degree don't make anywhere near that kind of money.
And they're $40,000 in debt.
Yeah, on top of the one dude I talked to, he had a lot of debt for just student loans. He made good money, but he went to school for years and years and years.
Well, maybe that's part of this. I mean, that's what's his name? Bernie Sanders, about the free college and everything. Yeah, not saying we need free college because nothing's ever free.
No.
But the way we're going right now with how we're doing all this stimulus, see if we can do this universal income, that's going to be one of the things coming up too.
You mean the student loan debt?
No, I don't worry about student loan debt. That's bygones be bygones, you know what I mean? That's your own problem if you do it. But we'll start talking more about free community college, free this, free that. So that way you're not getting hit with crippling debt.
Well, the question is, just like the stimulus, the money's got to come from somewhere. So you got to have someone in charge that can pay the people to do it and all this stuff. So that's really what it comes down to. I don't think any of these programs that these people talk about having won't work.
Yeah.
I just think that they won't work unless you have right people doing it. Yeah. And that's why I've said...
And it sucks because it's already in the government's hands.
Oh, like I've said in the past, you want to talk about free health care and Johnson & Johnson's going to do it, I'll talk. If you say the government's a part of it, I will vote no 100% of the time because they don't know how to do it right.
No. Well, at least they have it.
No, they don't.
But it could change. That's the idea.
Well, yes, if everything changed.
If everything changed. And there's a lot of changes that had to happen.
No, I'm not for people losing their jobs, but in our job, if you don't do it right, you get fired. In the government job, if you get caught fucking up majorly and someone doesn't sweep it under the rug, you may get reprimanded. And that's not the best way to do it. That doesn't take care of us.
Yeah.
I'm the employer. I'm a person, but I'm the employer of a person. I would like for them to at least do mediocre work. Not great. Not horrible.
Just try.
Mediocre, right?
Just show me a little effort.
Well, that's sad. And I'm not saying that they can't, if the type of work you do is government work, I don't have any problem with that. All I know is that there's people that don't do their job right and they never get fired. So,
and let's talk about how much they're actually making.
Some of them are making pretty decent money. And I'm for people making money. I don't mind if my government officials and if the police officers,
if they're working,
if they're doing their job, make great money. Yeah. I want them doing it and being happy.
Yeah. Period.
So they do it right.
That's it.
But do it right.
Yeah.
That's all. Just do it right.
If a cop starts making $8,000 a month, it's pretty decent around. You know what I mean? That's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably on average. An average cop makes $33,000 a year starting out.
Yeah, some of them
somewhere right around there.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't want them to be corrupt.
Yeah, so like I said, it's hard to take somebody that makes $35,000 a year and drop $10,000 cash in their lap and be like, yeah, don't take that. We're humans, you know what I mean? It's got to be hard. So,
everyone's got a price.
Look at us, you know what I mean? No matter what, there's things we do that we know we could do wrong and get away with. We can't because it's not worth risking our job. You know what I mean? It's not at all because we know we make decent
or
money.
laziness.
No, laziness is a problem.
Laziness too, for sure.
I'm a victim. I'm a culprit. I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
One speed, bro. One speed.
I know. It is pretty funny. It's funny watching you walk with people sometimes because usually you're leading, but when you have some people and you're following, you just not even a half a step quicker. I'll be there when I get there.
It works.
Although I'm no different. I'm not running for anybody. I'm too fat.
That's what it comes down to, man.
That whole run for fun bullshit.
Fuck, you're not a good friend. You're a bad person.
I think most people do know that when people say run for fun, I just hear mental illness. I mean, hey, I get it for exercise, But for fun,
fun.
Is it really fun, you fucking
exciting.
asshole?
This is exciting for you right now.
Now you make me feel like shit. That's the problem. It'd be all right if you're like,
chauvinistic pig.
you see how you have boobs and you're a guy, so I don't want that, so I'm going to go do this. Oh, okay, cool, I get that. But for fun, now you're just being an asshole.
Well, it's like the guy that's already in nice shape, working out, you know what I mean, got the abs, and he's at the gym pumping, hitting hard for an hour and a half every day. What's the point, bro? You won. You're already there. Calm down. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
So you want other wives to want you? Is that the plan?
Like, your hot wife's not good enough. You know what I mean? You already win, dude.
I need help the other direction. I have a pretty good personality, so if I really were interested in females, I probably could get as far as I need to. I have the weight to help counteract that, so that they don't initiate.
I told that to Ron, Jeremy in the office one day, and Jeremy is a big workout guy as he is all like, hey, Corey, why don't you work out? I'm like, man, same reason I'll grow a beard. And Ron's like, what's that? And I'm like, because if I grew a beard and started going to the gym, bro, there'd be no pussy left for the rest of you guys. Ron does the same thing. Ron goes, yeah. And Jeremy's like, that's big dick energy, man. I love it. You know?
Oh, that's funny. That reminds me of the, it was a Pokemon, I call it Pokemon. My kids hate it. It was a Pokemon video where Pokemon Go had just come out, so these young people did a skit, and it was one of the funniest shits ever. It's about how this one dude was calling it by the wrong names, and this girl was getting all pissed off because she thought he was fucking with her, and he wasn't.
He just actually was wrong.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, my buddy turned me on to this. He's the one that told me about Tinder. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have to show you the video. We'll have to do the old Vidskio right over here.
All right, let's see this.
What's up, Ray? He told me to get this like Pokemon's app right here, so I went and got it, and they got these cool little characters like dinosaurs and ducks and shit, you know.
Then this guy shows up and he starts calling the Pokemon by the wrong names. I don't know, just on purpose to patronize me, making fun of me. I don't know what his deal was. He called Bulbasaur,
That's Onion Turtle.
Geodude,
Punchy Rock,
Meowth,
that cat with them long ass arms.
Ekans.
Purple shit.
He called Diglett
That's 4 shit right there.
and Doug Trio.
That's 3 floor shit.
He knew Pikachu, but everybody knows Pikachu.
Oh yeah, that's Pikachu right there.
He called Weeping Bell,
Oh, that's almost a pair.
Weedle,
Party Wiener.
Beedrill.
Everybody know that's Big Dick B.
It's a stinger.
She just like lost it.
That's
And then
big
this girl
dick
started
B.
screaming at me all crazy and shit, and I'm just trying to catch these party wieners, you know what I mean, man?
Party
Like,
wieners.
it's funny as hell.
Everybody knows that's Big Dick B. I love that part. Everybody knows.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?